Hi, welcome back to Fortification. Today we will have 15 and a half steps to take for a perfect first date. If you're ready, let's begin. Step number 1 is to pick up a location which is both fun and appropriate. But how you're going to find a place which is both fun and appropriate? What does it mean? You should consider which time of the year you are going to meet. Is it summer or winter? And how much time do you have for this meeting? Do you have just 1 hour maybe, or a couple of hours? It's also important, for example, how the weather is gonna be like. Is it going to be rainy outside or windy, or it's going to be very hot or whatever? And also you should think about the place. Is it going to be a crowded place or a calm place? It also changes. Another factor here is to think if you're going to meet at the spot or you're going to meet somewhere else and walk to the place together. It can also change your dating. So you should also consider the action you're planning to do for this date. Will it be a breakfast, lunch or dinner kind of dating, or you're going to have some coffee only? Or maybe it's just without any strict plan, walking around the city or near a park, or maybe in the riverbank next to the lake, or just going to the seaside. So in the end, it's important to choose a spot or a nice place where you're going to feel comfortable. But don't choose a place like this one if you're not planning to have a first date with Wednesday Addams. I suggest to make a kind of optimization, and my example dating would be something like this. You meet in a spot where it is easy to meet, which is not very hectic or crowded, so you're not so late to the place and you are having not so much difficulty to find each other. And then you walk together to a spot where you're going to have a light drink or maybe some light food. After that, maybe you should walk around to some other place. Maybe it's just a park, maybe next to the river, or a lakeside or seaside, doesn't matter. It depends on your city, and of course it depends on the climate and the other surrounding factors. But this way you avoid the awkward moments of silences, for example. It's possible that you may not be able to find topics to talk on. And also your body, since it's going to be on the move, will make you feel better. So I recommend having a kind of dynamic, not very static, and let's say active type of dating. So let's move on to the next one. Step number 2. Inform her and confirm the plan with her. It's okay if she has something else which is nice in her mind. Just you should adapt in that case. However, do not forget that this is your dating, and do not be an NPC on your own dating. Let's move on to the next step. Step number 3. Dress to impress, but do not exaggerate. Well, years ago, I saw a guy who came to his first date with a pretty young girl with his dark, eyes-piercing, shining suit. Who would come to a middle of the day on a beach first date with this clothing while the girl was wearing a pair of jeans and a t-shirt? Don't do that. An additional idea here could be to inform her if there is a kind of dress code for the place you're planning to go. Let's move on to the next step. Step number 4. Be on time and not be so early to the spot. But what if she is late? Well, if it is not too late, that's okay. And you should decide yourself what is too late for you. And you can create in such a situation a fake call. Something like this. Yes, at last she's able to come here. Yeah, she's here. She's okay. She's okay. She's very okay. I'll call you later. Bye. Something like this. Because your idea is to create a kind of fake thin ice wall and then break it with a warm touch. Which brings us to the next step, which is 5. Make a warm compliment, something like this. Well, I like your outfit. I like your hair. Now I see that you look very energetic. It's so nice. And what I see here is that your shoes and purse are in combo, just like your belt and your watch. So I understand why you're late here, but I can say that that's okay. You took your time. You look fantastic. Something like this, okay? But it is important here, please, not to overshoot and say something like, well, yeah, great that you don't wear a bra. Dude, no. No, 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 no. Never, never ever comment on something like this, or never ever comment and say something like, yeah, with this outfit you look thinner. Nope. No. Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? Just you can comment on the things that she arranged, she fixed, she made a kind of good mixture, and you just appreciate her effort. And it also shows that you're aware. Never, never exaggerated. Let's move on to the next step now. Step number 6. This one is straightforward. Ask about her hobbies and interests, but do not make her feel as if she's in a job interview or in a police interrogation. I think it's clear. Next one. Step number 7 is to listen to what she's saying attentively, but do not staring into her eyes like a creepy stalker guy, okay? Do not exaggerate it. Eye contact is good, but don't overshoot it. And as you see, it's a straightforward one. Let's move on to step number 8. Step number 8 is about avoiding the controversial topics. Actually, I mentioned about this as a mistake in the previous video. You might like to check it out. So, if you like what you're watching so far, why not hitting that like button and help me with my dance with this YouTube algorithm? Let's move on to the next one. Let's come to step number 9. Show your sense of humor. It is important that she enjoys this first date with you. And believe me, if she is laughing, this means she is enjoying. However, remember not to be a goofy or a clown, so that she laughs not at you, but she laughs with you. Remember also not to make some jokes about controversial topics and laughing at your own jokes. It's not cool. Let's move on to the next one. Step number 10. When the bill comes, offer to pay for it. I talked about this in the previous video in much more detail, and I suggest you watching the section related with this part. So let's move on to the next step. Step number 11. Be mindful about your body language. Guys, physical contact is important, and you should test her to see if it is okay for her that you're touching her, and also it is okay for her to touch you. You must test her in a politely and gentle manner. In the later videos, I'm going to show you some examples of those kind of tests. Now, let's move on to the next one. Step number 12. If the date is going well, you can create a kind of activity which was not planned before, just a kind of, let's say, a warm surprise, and make things to a better level. For example, you can visit together a nearby bazaar for antiques, or see this town's famous street performance together. Or maybe your city has a kind of nice exhibition and you might want to just watch or see what is there. Think of the possible activities that you can do together, which is light, which is short, but which would, let's say, spice things up. It can work. Step number 13. If the things are not going so well during the date, you should do something about it, right? So I recommend making a fake phone call. Yes, Mr. President, yes, that's me. Yeah, that's fortification, yeah. Yeah, we are okay. She looks a bit bored, but it's okay. Yeah, but no. Sir, I cannot. It's too early. I cannot tell her that I'm Superman in this first date, What's she gonna do? She wouldn't even believe me. You hang up, sir. No, you. No, you, sir. You hang up, yeah. Something like this. Whatever, you know. What you're gonna lose is just to see her reaction and then move to the next topic if possible. Let's move on to the next one. Step number 14 is to end the date when it is on the crescendo mood. What does it mean? I mean, you should end this date while things are getting better, warmer, even hotter. Why? I understand that it's kind of controversial, that you wouldn't like to stop when things are going better. But actually you should do. You should keep her with the mood and the feelings, which are very, very nice. And these mood and feelings will support you on your next date. So that's the point. When things are very nice, you should be the first one to say, well, I had a great time with you. I like it so much, but I have to go. That's it, okay? But don't do it too early and don't do it so suddenly because you have to kind of follow up, which brings us to step number 15. Ending the date should be something like you, if possible, accompany her where she needs to go. It can be her stop for the bus or a taxi, you can wait together, or if possible, accompany her to her home. If she doesn't want it, that's okay. You can ask something like, please let me know when you're back home. It's important to pay attention and take care of the people. Apart from dating, you should do this actually. And regarding asking for the next meeting, well, in the previous video, the mistakes video, I talked about this. It's important to give a nice feedback by letting her know that you're so happy by texting or a call. But I recommend watching that previous video because there I give a kind of advice, which is again a controversial advice. Let's move on to the next and the last step. Okay, we have reached to the last step, which is number 15.5. Why it is half? Because you have already taken the half step by watching videos like this one, because you're trying to improve yourself. That's great. It's okay to ask help from other people. It's okay to get suggestions from other people. Even not from people. You can ask to ChatGPT, Alexa, Siri, whatever you call it. Doesn't matter. The important part here is to keep trying, improving yourself day by day and keep trying to be a better version of yourself. This very channel is dedicated to support your efforts in this manner. So why not completing this half step by subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so far? Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. I wish you fun in your first date or first dates. In the next video we are going to talk about alpha men and high status men. Hope to see you in this next video. Bye.